Hello and welcome to Lessons from the Screen. This is Vignesh with me once again, and today we are talking about Rockstar.
Yeah,
Take it away.
Rockstar. So I think it's the first film we are doing जो कि हिंदी है.
Together we are doing the first movie, which is Hindi. हाँ जी. Yes.
So how do we speak? Hindi or English?
Whatever is comfortable.
Yeah, we'll do a mix of both. चलो. So Rockstar. Where you start this time? What was your experience of watching the film? Your first experience.
My first experience was when this movie came out.
Yeah, I'm asking you to start because I've had a bad experience.
Achha,
for the first, when I watched it for the first time.
Achha.
Yeah.
So I watched the movie first time when it came out. I was in 11th, 12th.
Yeah.
2011-12 is when the movie came out,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong. It was in 11th, 12th. I had a Nokia X201. Do you know what is a Nokia X201? It was a small Nokia phone, not very small, small by today's standards. It had a QWERTY keypad, not a touch screen. I watched it on that.
Okay.
That's how I used to watch many movies back then. Right. I've seen a lot of movies on that phone. That was my first smartphone, so to speak. Smartphone as in it had internet connectivity. So I think by definition, any phone that has internet is a smartphone. And this is also when I was out of the home for the first time, and I was using my phone a lot more. This is back when Facebook was a thing. So anyway, I watched it on my phone. I really liked the movie back then.
Okay.
I really loved the movie, and just like most people, from then till I think last Diwali, about a year ago, I used to believe it is one of the best movies that Bollywood has ever produced.
Okay.
That was my first impression. I was of course very young, right, 15, 16. We're talking about. I was very young, definitely not as emotionally mature to understand a lot of the gravity of a lot of things that they show in this movie.
Yeah.
But I liked the movie overall. Of course, the music was. I really love the music. There's no doubt, no question.
Okay.
What was your first impression? Then I'll go for my second time. But yeah, what is the first?
So my first impression of the film was I didn't like it.
Okay.
Neither did I directly kind of like the songs.
Where do you stay? What's your address? There are some people who would like to lynch you.
So I have my reasons, I think. So
go ahead.
maybe I didn't have the sensibility of understanding a movie of that sort. So this was back in like 2017. I might have been somewhere like 18, 19 at that point of time. Okay. And it was, I think, one of the recommendations from one of the friends who suggested, yeah, Rockstar dekh lo.
Yeah.
I said, okay, dekhne. And I think I also kind of watched it on my phone. Okay. Yeah, on a smartphone. Yeah. And yeah, I found the film in the first viewing that it was very sloppy. I found it very sloppy. I found that there was no rhythm to what was happening on screen, and the edit was all over the place. I don't know what the hell is happening in the film. At one point of time he's in this place, then he's in some other place. What's going on with the characters? I was not sure about it. And then when it came to the music as well, I mean, like there are some songs, right, when you kind of hear them for the first time, you kind of directly like them. Yeah. But this I did not. Okay. Okay. And then and also I think that was a phase in my life when I didn't have that filmmaking thing with me going on. I was just kind of just watching movies at that point of time. Yeah. And I kind of didn't know whether I'll get into filmmaking or stuff like that. Okay. So I think that was also one of the reasons why I kind of didn't get attached to the movie and the songs obviously. Okay. But again, I think over the course of the next few years, I kind of had the opportunity to kind of again go through the film, and that's when I realized that okay, this is a great film.
So when did you watch the movie the second time? After this, like the first time? And
I think maybe a year later. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What did you think then?
And I thought, I mean, the film kind of is a representation of an artist's life, and moreover, I like to call it a tragedy. Yeah, I mean the tragedy of an artist. Okay. Yeah.
The second time I watched it was last year around Diwali.
Okay.
You can buy this movie, or at least you could buy this movie about a year and a half ago or so on Apple, whatever they call it anymore. I think they call it just TV store or whatever. You can have a lifetime access to this movie as long as Apple exists. That is. $100 or something. You can buy this movie for $100, right? So I bought this movie. Why not? $100 for Rockstar? Because you remember the last time I watched Rockstar was when I was a kid in 11th, 12th. I watched it on my phone and I remember it being brilliant. So I bought it, and during Diwali I was at my Nani's place and I had some time. So one night I put on headphones and I started watching this movie. The second time, I don't like this movie much.
Okay.
But I'm not saying it's garbage all of a sudden, but it's definitely not the best work that Bollywood has produced, or not in the top 10 or 50 even. There are definitely much better movies. And we'll get to all the nitty-gritties, but now that I am a filmmaker, I have seen a lot of movies, I have worked on a lot of films. I feel this movie is sloppy.
Okay.
I feel this movie is rushed. And in my opinion, the movie doesn't make you feel things, it tells you feel these things. It's like, feel that Jordan is in pain, it doesn't make you feel that pain. I also think, I don't know, but I think Nargis doesn't know good Hindi. She cannot speak Hindi. And her lines are dubbed.
Yeah, that's dubbed.
Either Ranveer Kapoor's dubbing is phenomenally well done, and her is very sloppy, or his are not dubbed, they are live sync sound, and her is dubbed, and you just cannot unsee that. On the screen, when there's like two people talking to each other on the screen, you can see one of them's lip movement matches, Nargis's doesn't.
So
extremely immersion breaking. Extremely immersion breaking.
So there's two things, I think. One, that obviously the film is majorly, I think, it's dubbed.
Okay.
And second thing, I mean, divide the second thing into two again. One part of it is the actor's performance, and the second part is how well the dubbing is done. And if you see at Ranbir Kapoor, he's done obviously phenomenal work. And he's
it's not phenomenal in my opinion. It's above average.
So if you compare, it's kind of a lower version of what he's doing the last few years.
So what I feel is the bar in Bollywood is set so low. In the last 5 to 10 years, Bollywood, mainstream Bollywood is spitting out such incredibly shit movies that Ranveer's attempt to be decent, his like this flithering attempt is above average. His attempt is not great. I don't think. I also watched Ye Jawani Hai Diwani this week itself. Even in that movie, his acting is not amazing. It's not great. It's better than what other Bollywood actors are doing right now. That doesn't say that he's a good actor. That just says that Bollywood has absolutely gone to shit, in my opinion. That's what I feel. Super hot take, but I think Bollywood इतना कचरा बना रहा है कि somebody who is doing a okay job seems like he is Oscar winning. He's not Oscar winning. He's done just an okay job. The others are so. It's terrible as somebody who loves Bollywood, who's grown up watching a lot of Bollywood movies. मुझे लगता है कि in the past Bollywood has made movies which are legendary. If you watched Mother India, if you watched Mughal Azam, if you watched Anand, these are all even Amar Akbar.
Amar Akbar.
These are movies which are really ahead of its time. If you watch Mother India today, you realize this movie is about the plight of a mother, the plight of a woman. A man, her husband, conveniently left the moment things went south for him. She did not leave. Right? This is such a modern feminist concept. As a man, you left. You're supposed to be the man. You're supposed to, own up to shit. You left. You abandoned us. And like, I am the woman. I'm supposed to be, the nice one. I'm not supposed to get my hands dirty, or I'm not supposed to, you have these hazar social constructs. I said, fuck your social constructs. I'll take care of my kids. Such a modern feminist concept, shot in black and white. When you see that Bollywood and you see the Bollywood now, where the fuck did we go so wrong? Who fell on their head? Why did everyone fall on their head? And Ranveer Kapoor's acting, I genuinely, I might sound like a Shah Rukh Khan fan because I am. I think he might be the last of real good stars in Bollywood. So Ranveer's problem, is it too far? I think we're jumping too deep at the very beginning of the podcast, but I feel the problem with Ranveer's acting is you can't forget that you're watching Ranveer.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You watch, recently I watched Jawani Hai Diwani, Rockstar, Aadil Hai Mushkil. These three characters that he's playing, he had, I feel the script gave him the opportunity to be as versatile as he could go. These three characters don't need to have anything in common. Jawani Hai Diwani, Bunny is average upper middle class happy guy from Mumbai who wants to be a filmmaker. Rockstar, this average middle class guy from Jordan, the average middle class guy from Delhi. Mumbai, Delhi, very different places, trust me, very different, very far on the map here. Very different cultures, very different geographics. He has nothing to do with filmmaking. He wants to be a musician, guitarist, right? And then Aadil Hai Mushkil, this guy comes from a upper middle class, not upper middle class, like proper fucking rich family. It's mostly set around a bit of Europe and different places around Europe. Again, very far, Europe, very far from Mumbai, yes. Trust me, I have a map, I've seen. Very different culture, very different geographics. Cold, Mumbai, literally never cold. But those three characters could be just, three different phases of one single human being. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Through Bunny, Jordan, and whatever the fuck he's called in Aadil Hai Mushkil. I don't give a fuck what he's called in Aadil Hai Mushkil because he's just Ranveer. I might sound very harsh, but that's the problem with his acting.
That's a problem.
You can never forget that you're seeing Ranveer.
No, that's a problem with, I think, mainstream Indian stardom. I guess.
A lot of Bollywood. So here's the thing. Why I said Shah Rukh Khan might be the last of true stars, true actors. You watch Chak De India.
Yeah.
Okay. Versus you watch DDLJ. Okay, you might say, oh, they are very far away from it. But you watch DDLJ and you watch Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. Very different characters.
Yeah.
You very easily forget that I am watching Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Similarly, you watch Chak De versus Swadesh. They came out in the same ballpark, same time. I think उन दोनों के बीच is similar amount of time gap as Rockstar and Aadil Hai Mushkil. Right. But you easily in Chak De, you forget you're watching Shah Rukh Khan. You don't see Shah Rukh Khan, you see that character, you see that coach. Right. Same in Swadesh. You're not seeing Shah Rukh Khan. Swadesh is not Shah Rukh Khan's story. It's not a Shah Rukh Khan movie. It is, what was his character's name?
Mohan.
It is Mohan's story. It is very much Mohan's story. You watch Swadesh, you are moved for Mohan, you're not moved for Shah Rukh Khan. That is a good actor, right? He's bringing somebody else's soul into their body.
No, I mean, a lot of actors, the distinction you're trying to make, that happens, because of a lot of factors contributing. Right from the writing aspect of it. Is the writer creating a character who's different in terms of what we've seen already on screen? Then comes in the director and the actor collaboration, right? It's left to the both of them that is the actor leaving his personality off screen and just focusing on the character. So I think that is a collaborative effort. You can't just pinpoint on just one aspect of it or put it down on the actor saying that
I see
he couldn't bring the character on screen.
I see you.
And what the hell was the director doing on that?
I see you. I see you. I see you.
Because if you see, I mean, as you mentioned, Shah Rukh, right? Let it be Swadesh or a Chak De India. I think those movies work out really well in all aspects. I mean, you don't pinpoint and say.
The opposite is also true, right? For example, you see Chennai Express and
those are pretty much commercial and mainstream films.
What is this? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yeah.
That's essentially Shah Rukh Khan making a vlog.
So you know that there's nothing new in those characters, right? Be it a Happy New Year or a Chennai Express. It's a simple, typical, mainstream kind of a character. And you know that not much effort has been gone into kind of bringing that character alive on screen. So that's a choice that people make while making a film.
But I think his acting is oh my god, if we were grasping for straws, his acting is something that stands out in the movie. It is not very good. It's much better
still
than
a decent.
It's much better than what an average theater going Hindi movie watching audience has seen. So I can definitely see why they would like it.
And one more thing why it works more efficiently or let's say perfectly is because it's a very loud performance towards the end, you see.
I didn't understand why it is so loud.
It had to be, right?
No, there is pain. But I feel every time they want to show pain, they just have Ranveer Kapoor scream.
Yeah, because the point is, in the film, if you see his character arc, he comes from those humble beginnings. He knows nothing about pain, nothing about love, anything. He hasn't had any such difficult times in his childhood or growing up. So he's never had that idea of kind of expressing, right?
My problem is not that. My problem is, as an audience, I didn't feel his pain. I could not empathize with his character. I was not thinking from his perspective. I felt he's shouting. It felt like the movie was telling me, see, he's shouting. Feel bad for him. Shout. Feel bad. Pain. Very pain. Bad. It felt like that. It didn't feel like, oh, I have empathy. I can see from his perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for example, you name any great performance, right? Like, let's stick with Shah Rukh Khan. This is a Shah Rukh Khan simping podcast now. Renaming it to Lessons from Simping from Shah Rukh Khan, for Shah Rukh Khan. At today's episode of Lessons from Simping for Shah Rukh Khan. So, in Swadesh, when Kaveri Amma tells him कि वो किसी से तो पैसे वसूल करने हैं, उसने बहुत टाइम से रेंट नहीं दिया है,
फार्मर के घर पे,
right? They just don't tell you he's gone far. They could have just told you, it's far, or they could have shown कि he starts going, fade to black, text लिखा आता है next day, and then you see him there. They could have done that.
Just show the entire journey.
They have. It starts with he's like caravan में तेल डालना, पेट्रोल डालना पड़ेगा, डीजल डालना पड़ेगा, something. Says caravan वहाँ पे नहीं जाएगी, तुम्हारी गाड़ी वहाँ पे नहीं जाएगी. Then there's this postmaster guy. He says मैं आपको लेके चलता हूँ ना. He's that like really nice uncle in every village, who's like a little nosy, but he's like चलो मैं आपको लेके चलता हूँ. Then he goes in this train. He goes in this boat. He walks and then he reaches there. Then he sees how sad and how little resources this guy has, and he still offers him food and place to stay. And then this guy Mohan, he feels bad, he gives them money. It's such a just telling you about this is making me emotional. It's making me want to cry. You feel the plight of that person, you feel the plight of that farmer, and you feel everything that Mohan has felt. Train wale mein, there is this chota sa part where the train stops
and he takes water from that boy, gives him a rupee or something, 20 paise, kuch bhi hai, jo bhi hai. And yeah, after drinking that water, there's this soul moment of him in the train where he's having that kind of a internal catharsis, or let's say a breakdown kind of a thing.
My pain point is, I never in Rockstar felt that for Jordan.
So I have
maybe I'm a cold asshole.
I have conflicting views on this. So yeah, like I don't think, I think I might give you reasons of why you didn't feel that, or why as an audience I could feel it, or maybe I'm too much kind of, for me I did feel it. I mean, not throughout the film, but some moments I did feel that, and towards the end of the film too, I did feel or connect with the character. Because particularly for me, I'm pretty much kind of engrossed with the idea of an artist, the making of an artist, the breaking point of an artist, then kind of a fall down and everything. I mean, the entire concept of how an artist would live in the present world and work and undergo through those downfalls. I'm pretty much kind of, I don't know, engrossed with that idea. So maybe I'm kind of too much inclined with that thought also. I mean, or could connect with the character.
I felt the makings of a great story was there.
Okay.
It just failed when it came to the connecting with my soul, connecting with my heart. My brain agrees with all the things. Logically, they all fall in place. It's just you haven't won my heart. I'm not feeling those things. So, in the movie, I want to feel that pain. I see logically why he would be in that pain. I want to feel that for him. When you can make me feel that, you've done a great job in filmmaking.
Yeah, again, I think this movie is not to be watched for a single time, I think. And you kind of feel everything though. It's a slow burn, I think.
I have watched.
You need to also, I mean, for me too as well, as you said, to connect with the character, it took me like 3-4 viewings.
On the other hand, every time I felt connected, I could feel, not know, but feel what was going on, is during the music.
Yeah.
The songs,
yeah.
We need a new tier above A+.
I mean, it's one of Rahman's best tracks of all time. Yeah, best soundtracks of all time.
I think this is when they were composing, making the music.
Yeah.
Rahman called up all the absolute legends.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's show them how music is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Let's show how music really works.
Yeah. And
there's some 11 odd tracks.
11-12 tracks, yeah.
Each of them fucking masterpiece.
I mean, all of them are also unique. I mean, how come you create something of this variation? I mean, there's a Sufi song, there are rock songs, there are heavy metal songs. So there is a Jagran song.
So I watched the movie a third time, and when you watch the movie, not as a movie, as a musical, as a story that is supposed to serve to these 11-12 songs, the movie makes a lot more sense. The movie really works as a musical.
Yeah. Because they've been placed very correctly or accurately in the film.
And throughout the movie, when you watch the movie, whenever Nargis's character meets Jordan. What is Nargis's character's name? Heer meets Jordan every time. Like whenever it is from Heer's perspective, you hear the song Katya Karo in the background. You hear the tunes of Katya Karo in the background.
Different variations of it.
Right. Whenever it is from Jordan's perspective meeting Heer, you hear variations of tunes of Tum Ho. I am not a musician. I don't understand a lot of this stuff. But the way it is done really touches your heart. Each of this song has its meaning, has what cool kids call chart toppers. Each one of them is a chart topper, absolute banger in your own way. I have few friends who are not from India, they're not Indians, they don't speak Hindi. I feel bad for them because they'll never get to experience the tracks of Rockstar, right? Like they will have to look up on Google Translate, or somebody will have to explain them
Yeah.
And they
The
never
meaning of it.
understand.
Yeah.
I think it's a genuine loss. If in your lifetime you cannot, truly enjoy Rockstar songs, it's like something you're missing out. It's like saying, this guy over here has never had pizza, ever. And he cannot have pizza because, I don't know, whatever medical condition. I'm like, you're missing out, man. You're missing out.
No, but I think that's the click of music as well. I mean, the music, you don't need to, for me personally, I feel that you don't need to understand what the lyrics are. If you kind of get into the tune or the melody of the song and you kind of actually start liking that aspect of it. So you can still enjoy the song without actually knowing what the lyrics are or what they truly mean actually.
I don't remember the musician. There's this guy. He's worked on Rockstar. I'm completely blanking out. He said in an interview that kun faya kun, अगर समझ में नहीं आए तो चलेगा.
हाँ.
कुछ फील होना चाहिए.
फील होना चाहिए.
जब तक फील हो रहा है,
हाँ.
समझ में नहीं आए तो it's okay.
Yeah, because if you hear kun faya kun, it's kind of I don't know, maybe it's spiritual, divine, religious, call it anything. You still get that sense of relief, यार कि मतलब when I hear kun faya kun on a loop or let's say at least for a single time, I feel relieved. I feel कि मेरे सारे problems चले गए. Like I don't have to bother about anything that's happening in and around in my life. True. If you're down, go and hear kun faya kun.
It is a beautiful.
That's the beauty of it, right?
It's a masterpiece in Sufi music. Yeah. Absolute masterpiece in Sufi music. Kun faya kun. Nadan Parinde is equally as amazing.
Yeah. Sadak is very rebellious.
There's also beauty about Rockstar's music because it has to be music that represents Jordan. Most of the time, and sometimes here. Since Jordan is this average Dilli ka Londa, not very well read, not very well educated, does not come from a great bourgeoisie family, so to speak. Since he doesn't come
his
from
family still owns a transport business.
Yeah,
they are rich.
So
not super rich, but still
not
rich.
The bourgeoisie. The songs use very simple words.
Yeah, very simple words. Yeah.
जो भी मैं कहना चाहूँ बर्बाद करे अल्फाज मेरे. And since he's from Delhi, and because Delhi was the capital of the Mughal Empire, it has a lot of the Mughal influence. Yeah. You see a lot of words from Urdu used, for example, alfaz. Kun faya kun to is Sufi. The entire Sufi art form is sort of a gift from the Mughals. Nadan Parinde. Parinde itself is a Urdu word, if I'm not wrong, and there is a lot of influence of Urdu throughout the songs, which also represents that the guy was from Delhi, for example. If the guy was from Mumbai and you wrote some Urdu lyrics there, it would just make no sense.
And also the girl as a Kashmir
is a
Kashmiri, right? Yeah. But as you pointed out, I mean, whenever he is on screen, you have that Katya Karu wala variation playing out, and that actually symbolizes the kind of life she wants to live, right? She wants that freedom which is kind of restricted by her family, and she's not allowed to do stuff that she is. So Katya Karu kind of symbolizes that.
Yes,
brings
her
out that
wants to be
freedom, a free kind of a girl, and for his Jordan's character, when he's on there and when it's from his perspective, you say that tum ho. So tum ho paas mere.
Which is true, because he was the one who fell in love with her before. At the start
he doesn't fall in love with her before.
But he really wants her, right?
Kind of a gig that he.
Did you realize it's a very Scorsese thing to do?
Okay.
For example, Taxi Driver. Yeah. For example, Wolf of the Wall Street. The guy, Jordan Belfort. Comes to New York, Wall Street. He has a wife.
Yeah.
But in a lot of Scorsese movies, for example, Taxi Driver, for example, Wolf of the Wall Street, the woman represents not just being a woman, not just being pretty and everything, and the feminine energy, everything that we think of, but the woman also represents the lifestyle that the guy wants to live.
Yeah.
Jordan Belfort doesn't bang Naomi Woods only because he wants to bang her or he finds her hot or cute or whatever.
Yeah, she's a duchess.
The Duchess of Bay Ridge, Queensland, something, right? Like she is the rich model. She is the life that he wants to live. Same in Taxi Driver. Like this guy drives taxis at night. He sees a lot of sex workers. He sees a lot of drug people, drug dealing people, drug addict people. He sees a lot of this sort of the dirt, the ugly side of the society. And then he meets this girl who is the opposite. She's clean.
Yeah.
She works in a political campaign for a political candidate who promises to bring around change and reforms, right? And she, and you can also see in Taxi Driver, every time he's alone in the taxi or something, it's dark, it's night, it's dirty, his clothes are dirty. People around him have dirty clothes, like sort of shabby clothes. She walks around in nice pink dress or nice white dress, or she has like clean. She represents what this guy wants. Similarly, Naomi Woods represents what this guy wants, right? And it's very similar in Rockstar. Like he comes from this big joint family where there's like 20,000 people living under one roof, versus she comes from this rich elite family, right? He is sort of he's told to bugger off. Right, he is this lousy guy.
Yeah, there's a class difference.
And she's a classy woman. She is not only a pretty woman, but she's also everything. She represents everything that he wants in his life. Yeah, very Scorsese thing. Well, Scorsese has no copyright over this, of course. It's something that Scorsese shows in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, I mean the first time he kind of sees her as well. He sees her through that glass window. And she's kind of performing for a salsa dance or something like
that. Which is very representative, right? It's like you can see
her,
but there's something in between.
There's an invisible barrier between us. And immediately after he's kind of looking at her, she's getting uncomfortable and she kind of draws those curtains to kind of, you kind of, don't come near me, kind of a thing. So that is kind of very subtly and metaphorically shown in that scene. And then kind of when he sits with that canteen guy, Khatana bhai, and he's like, do you know what an artist is? How do you become an artist? तुम्हारे अंदर दर्द होना चाहिए. दर्द होने के लिए you need to fall in love, you need to break down, kind of separate from that.
Which is debatable. I've recently seen I haven't seen, it has been recommended to me by the algorithm gods of YouTube, a video talking about Khatana bhai and Rockstar and saying, is pain the real is pain a great motivator to be a artist?
Sure,
so that's debatable. I haven't seen the video.
No, for me, I mean, it may be debatable for a lot of us, but I think it's required or necessary. Yeah. Because what pain creates is like a form of loneliness and a form of isolation for you from the normal reality or normal world. And when you're kind of isolated and lonely, you create something. Because you're constantly in your own world and thoughts, right? Just excluded from the real world. And then that kind of makes you create a world of your own self.
We talked Kun Faya Kun. By the way, recently came to know in Urdu. Kun Faya Kun is like God's word. It's like God is saying Kun, matlab ho ja. Faya Kun, ho gaya, ho jayega. So it's like because God said this will be done and it was done. Jo Bhi Main, incredible masterpiece. The depth of the lyrics, we can have like separate podcasts.
So, on that.
Especially Kun Faya Kun. Kun Faya Kun is like a movie in its own. But when the video starts, you will see it is Hazrat Nizamuddin Dargah in Delhi. Dargah is dimly lit.
Yeah.
That is sort of showing that people haven't come yet. Matlab, Dargah is not sort of ready yet, or is just the start. It shows ki, it's dimly lit to show ki log abhi aaye nahi hai.
Yeah, that is also to kind of people represent his own present situation as well, that he's still in the dark and he needs some form of enlightenment.
And in a lot of this Sufi art form, in most religion and God is considered as a great somebody who's above us, right? But in most Sufi art form, he's considered as your lover. He's considered as equal to you. He's not considered as this great superpower. He's considered as equal to you. And if you go through Kun Faya Kun's lyrics, you'll see a lot more of this. Again, Kun Faya Kun can be like a podcast episode on its own. It's like its own movie. And it's beautiful how, there's a lot of there's a lot of lines in Kun Faya Kun where, for example, जब कहीं पे कुछ भी नहीं था, जब कुछ भी नहीं थी नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं थी नहीं था, which is कि basically जहाँ कुछ नहीं होता है वहाँ पे कुछ होता है, और जहाँ पे वो कुछ भी नहीं था वहाँ पे भी तू था, भगवान था. Right. And there's this part where much later down the road it goes, कच्चे मेरे ये करम मुझे लेके चले हैं कहाँ, मैं तो जानू ना. That is when
he doesn't know his path or where.
That is when Jordan has sort of submitted to God. Right. To submitted to whatever Allah, Jesus, Krishna, Hanuman, whoever you believe in.
That's the point. He kind of also realizes ki I don't know what the path ahead is, and let me kind of go with.
That's when he's like, God, please guide me.
Go with the flow, kind of a thing.
And you also realize through there, it's somewhere in the lyrics, I can't remember exactly, but it's like, it says, when you give yourself up to God, when you submit, oh God, I don't know you, you guide the way. Only then you can achieve true greatness.
Yeah.
Only when you realize that I cannot do this myself.
Yeah, because that's what happens in the movie as well. I mean, the Kun Faya Kun song kind of kicks in after he's gone on that, kicked out of, before he has gone to that Kashmiri wedding of hers.
No, he's after Kashmiri wedding.
No. She's married off.
Yes.
Then he's kind of kicked out of the house saying, where did you kind of go? He doesn't have an answer. They kick him out of the house. Then he goes to the dargah without knowing ki kahan jaun. And he's there in that dargah for kind of 2 months. And then as you said, that line comes in and he has that entire enlightenment kind of a thing. And post that, everything starts kicking in for him. Like, he gets those contracts, he starts working for the platinum music kind of a thing, and kind of that's the beginning of his journey as a musician.
So there's this, I saw this behind the scenes. There's a part during Kun Faya Kun, I don't remember exactly what line it is, but there's a line that ends and you see Ranveer Kapoor looking up. Behind the scenes, you can see it wasn't written for him to look up. He was just in the flow and he just looked up and the directors and everyone was like, okay, I hope you shot this. I hope you got this. This is good.
No, that's the magic of filmmaking, right?
And A.R. Rahman's music.
Yeah, like if you have everything falling in place, right? Like you already have the A.R. Rahman song Kun Faya Kun playing out. You have the entire setup. You're shooting inside the dargah, and you've staged the scene entirely. And there comes this point. Obviously, you can't. I think while shooting these songs as well, you can't entirely kind of stage them, right? Like you do tell your actors, "Acha, theek hai." On these lines, you are praying to the God, and you're looking inside. And go with the flow, kind of a thing. And maybe that could have been improvised, as you said. So you create that mood while shooting, right? And in that mood, you kind of do things that are not expected. With the feel of it,
And definitely A.R. Rahman's music is banger. There's no way around it. Kun Faya Kun, enough simping for Kun Faya Kun.
So I noticed one thing. So a lot of mainstream films, what they do is they purposely kind of force in songs into the movies, right?
This doesn't feel like
this
that.
Doesn't feel like that.
Yes.
And I think this is an exception in terms of filmmaking.
So these days, mostly when I watch a Bollywood movie,
Yeah.
a song comes, I just skip.
Skip. Yeah.
And I just can't be fucking bothered, bro. The song is most probably shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't add to the story. So why the fuck should I waste my time?
Yeah, because like there are very few filmmakers in India who kind of blend film, music, I mean the songs with the visuals. I mean the purpose of introducing songs in a movie is that it kind of
It should elevate the story, right?
elevate the story and keep it moving forward rather than kind of just stagnating and some people are coming and dancing.
And just having a filler
theme, kind of thing. Because there's a very brilliant thing that's been done in this film is like, I mean a lot of films do, but I don't think it has worked for other films. Like there are 3 songs in succession. And it's very unusual, like in a film that continuously there are 3
When
songs
do we have
playing.
3 songs in this?
So after Kun Faya Kun, there is the Jagran song. Like immediately after
What Jagran song?
Mata wala song. Ambe Ma wala yaar.
Oh, that's not a song.
No, that's not a song, but still it's like taking 1 or 2 minutes of screen time, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of singing on screen as well.
Okay.
So Ambe Ma wala gana, I still consider it as a song. Chalo, Jagran hai. So right after Kun Faya Kun ends, you have the Ambe Ma song. And then right after the Jagran song ends, there is a studio recording song that he is doing. Sheher Mein Wala. So that is a very
so that is the thing. That is where I was coming.
Yeah.
The songs, they lead the story.
Story forward, yeah.
When you see Rockstar as a musical, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So for example, when you see Sheher Mein works great because during that song, around that song,
you're not able to pull it off. Yeah.
No, so around that song, you're informed that he has an opportunity to go to Prague. She is in Prague. That's why it makes...
Prague wala angle comes very much later.
No, it is around this song, no?
No. So Sheher Mein is the first time he's got that chance to record a song for Platinum Music. So that's the first song he's introduced to Platinum.
When he goes to Prague, so whenever it is from his perspective, you usually hear Tum Ho. But when he goes to Prague, you hear Sheher Mein.
Okay.
The tunes from Sheher Mein. And it makes a lot more sense because he is in her city. But he has come to Prague just to see her. Okay. He didn't want to go. If you see the story, he didn't want to go there. He was like, yeah, fuck Platinum Music, fuck that guy, whatever. When he comes to know that she's there, then he says, okay, I'll sign a contract, I'll bend over backwards, I'll do whatever you want. So that's why you hear, instead of Tum Ho, you hear Sheher Mein. And that is a beautiful thing about the songs in this movie. The reason why it feels more like a musical to me is because the music does such heavy lifting.
Yeah.
It has to do the heavy lifting for...
I mean the background score as well. I mean that are kind of...
It does such heavy lifting.
Yeah, the background score that are being used in the film is not just like a typical score that we do for films. What he's done is, I mean, since Rahman himself has done the background score as well.
Yes.
So the songs are different, the score is different. The score is different as in he's used the tunes from the songs. Which kind of play as a background score. So that kind of keeps you hooked as well.
That is the thing about Rahman's work.
Yeah.
You see Beats, you see Rockstar. Beat, you see Dil Se.
Yeah. So he's done that. I mean, this is a technique he's used for most movies that he's done.
His work is so amazing that most of his music outlasts the movie itself. Like for example, you'll hear a lot of people say Rockstar was a great movie. You'll also hear some say it was a bad movie, it wasn't good. But I haven't met anyone who says the songs were bad.
Yeah.
Like, open challenge. It's like,
if
you think the songs are bad, you are bad. You are the problem. Like,
songs
not acceptable.
The songs themselves are like kind of slow burners, yeah.
Yes, definitely slow burner because I remember when I was in school when the movie came out, I really loved Tum Ho.
Yeah.
I was a teenager going through my first ever relationship. Tum Ho made a lot of sense. Didn't like the other songs as much.
Yeah, because I too, I mean, had problems with this one song which is called Aur Ho. You listen. So Aur Ho is kind of, it resembles the, what do you say, the cheating aspect of what she does in
the bittersweet,
of the affair kind of a thing that is going on between these two.
Yes.
So it resembles that. So Aur Ho also, I mean, for me till recently, I didn't kind of have a liking for that song. But again, I said it's a slow burner like every other song in the soundtrack.
I will admit this here. I fell in love with Kun Faya Kun very late.
Yeah, me too. I think about
Very late.
4-5 hearings later. I think
I liked a lot of the songs from when I was a teenager. Remember listening to them. Then I went to college, and I didn't listen to any songs from Rockstar for a long time. Then about 2-3 years ago, I came around listening to those again.
Yeah.
Then I think I was just telling you in December for about 3-ish months, I took up a job in Thane, which was like an hour's commute one side. One of these days while coming back, one of these days at the office, people in my team, they're talking about Nadan Parinde. And I was like, yeah, great song. Great song. Though I haven't heard it in a long time. And then this girl in my team, she tells me, have you paid attention to the lyrics? There's this part where he says, Kagar
Kagar Muri,
Duniya ruchi usse, chun chun khayo maas, khayo na tu naina mohe, khayo na tu naina mohe, piya ke milan ki aas. And I was like, yeah, I've heard this. And she's like, he's saying that, oh crow, oh vulture, you're amazing. Eat all my meat as you wish. Just don't eat my eyes. Because through my eyes, I'll see my piya. And I was like, I need a break. I need a minute to process this. And then that day while coming back, I heard that song and I was like, I need a break. Hello, this is. I need a while to process this shit. This is insane. And I think for me that started off like this round 2 of listening to Rockstar.
Yeah.
So after that, the next day when I was going back to office, I heard Jo Bhi Main. Same, I had to like stop on the side of the road and actually had to process that. I was like, wow. Kun Faya Kun. And a lot of Rahman's work is like that.
Yeah, most of his work.
When you listen to Chaya Chaya, I have realized if you listen to Chaya Chaya, you pay attention to lyrics. After Chaya Chaya is over, these days, lately, I pause the music. I don't listen to anything after Chaya Chaya.
Okay.
Because I know whatever is gonna play next is not gonna be as good.
Okay.
That's like A.R. Rahman's work for you. It's like you listen to a song and you're like, इसके बाद जो बजने वाला है वो उतना अच्छा नहीं है. You know that for a fact. It's like same with Chaya Chaya. You hear the lyrics like Gul posh kahin itaraye kahin. Gul is खुशबू पोश is कपड़े. So मेरा महबूब खुशबू के कपड़े पहन के आएगा तो मैं उसे सूंघ के पहचान लूंगा. Like fuck. Crazy shit, man.
Most of his work, I think, you've just known his work in Hindi. He's done a lot of work down south as well. In Tamil especially.
Yes.
If you listen to most of his Tamil songs, they are kind of, actually you don't get it the first time. But as you listen it over time, again and again, you think like, how does he create such sort of music? Where does all of this come from?
A lot of his work that he has done down south. I feel, at the start of this podcast, I told you a lot of my friends who are not Indians, they don't speak Hindi. I feel bad for them because they'll never enjoy Rockstar music. I feel the same way about myself for A.R. Rahman's work that he has done in South. Because I speak none of those languages, I understand none of those languages.
Yeah.
Even if I look up the translation, I think I'll never enjoy that work.
But I think again, I said...
But not to the same level.
Yeah.
I might understand it, but...
Yeah, but again, I think, even if I listen to some of his songs in Tamil, I do know the language, but I still don't kind of understand the depth of the lyrics, right? I'm still hooked onto the songs because of the kind of the melody or tune he has kind of created. Even for Rockstar, I don't know what a Nadan Parinde kind of a song has a depth in it. What does the lyrics actually kind of boil down to and make sense to me?
Such a open-ended song.
Yeah. But still, if I got inclined to listening to Nadan Parinde, then Sadda Haq, then Kun Faya Kun, then 6 months down the line, I understand what is Fir Se Ud Chala, then Jo Bhi Main, and all those songs, slowly.
Yeah, I think Nadan Parinde.
But it's still
it's how you see it, right? It's like the song is saying Nadan Parinde, Ghar Aaja.
Yeah.
It's like his... it's like Jordan is
kind of speaking to her, kind of come back.
Yes. Or you can say that he's earning to go back to his home, right? He was kicked out from his home until the end of the movie.
But that's still not that much. I mean that part of his life is not that much. Because what happens after he's kind of kicked out of the house, and already she's kind of married, right? He doesn't kind of understand what is the kind of relationship that these two people share. I mean, him and her. That's very much later, yeah. Like, that's very much later.
You can perceive it in so many different ways. That's the brilliance of the songs, and I think these songs do a lot of heavy lifting to tell the story throughout the movie. I think if you remove these songs, the movie would be like
it's a very flat film then.
Yeah. I don't remember noticing anything else that was weird or that stood out.
One thing I observed is the kind of editing pattern he's used. I mean, if you see, I mean, the story is a pretty much linear kind of story. So.
But the edit is not linear.
Edit is not linear. I mean, the pattern that they followed, I think up till a certain point. I mean, till the point, I think Kun Faya Kun is done, and he kinds of signs with Platinum Music, and he's become a known star till that point, till the Sheher Wala album is released. It is non-linear in terms of storytelling. I mean, it's a very cyclic kind of a storytelling. I mean, because they start off with
him in some city.
It's the first scene starts off with that entire end wala chunk where he's being chased off by those cops before that concert starts. And then in between they jump to the college portions, and then we kind of are introduced that Jordan has some issues with Platinum, or he's become a very arrogant kind of a person. And then you have that entire cyclic thing till the point where he has that first interview going on with Aditi Rao Hydari. And then again, when we come back to that point, he runs off to Platinum Music saying ki, I want to go to Prague. Will you sign me up with anything? And from that point of time, it's again, the story is pretty much linear. There's no non-linearity again in the film. I'm not sure why did he use that.
I think it serves well for the story, because in the starting when it's not linear, it's only not linear whenever he's flashing with his past. With his present, sorry. His past is fairly linear. So that shows ki, jab life mein problems come the. When he was younger, he was in college, things were simpler. His memory is also straightforward, simpler for you to understand. It's only now when she's dead, now when she has this disease, now when she's married to someone else. Whenever he is distressed for something, the story is also more complex to comprehend for us as the viewer. So I think.
Yeah. No, because the second half of it is pretty much linear, right? But I feel ki till the point he has to go to Prague to kind of meet her. I mean, that point itself is the breaking point, I feel, in the story for him, because that is kind of a huge leap for him as well.
Yes.
Because till that point, he also kind of doesn't, he's not knowing of that he loves her or he has that connection with her. So that is why kind of, I'm not sure they've used that non-linear kind of a thing. And after that, it's kind of a very downfall kind of a situation for him. So that goes on pretty much in a very linear way.
Then there is Sadda Haq is an amazing song.
Yeah, it's a rebellious kind of a thing. Yeah.
You see in Sadda Haq, when he's performing, there's a lot of people standing around in the audience with different banners. Some of them is also Free Tibet.
Yeah, there's Free Tibet, then there's the Kashmiri thing as well in one of the shots.
Kashmir wala thing I've seen also blurred out.
Yeah, blurred out, everything's blurred out. Then there's the Khalistani thing as well, I think, because there were some Sikhs also shown in one of the shots.
About the Free Tibet thing. I don't know, it's just sad. It's just sad. So I told you I've been to Ladakh, right? I really love that place, Ladakh. It's a lot of Tibetan refugees there who came to India when China conquered Tibet. And it's really sad that these Western democracies who talk big shit about democracy and peace and stuff just decided, including in a lot of countries, have just decided to turn the other way when China decided to conquer Tibet. China has conquered Tibet in today's fucking day and age. they are a colony essentially, and we are supposed to be just fine with it. Yeah. Lovely song, Sadahak. Also, how the songs change throughout the movie is nice. Like at the end, you get Tumko
from the female version,
which is the same tune, the same vibe, the same everything. It's like Jordan's character has achieved his ultimate goal. He has beat the biggest boss in the video game.
Yeah, because that's
like his goal was to be with Heer.
Yeah, because the idea of the film is that he wants to be with her in a very free world, which doesn't have any restrictions or any, any problems with them being them. Because if you see as the movie as a whole, the point after he kind of meets Heer and he's become this great star or music celebrity, there's too much media attention for him as well, right?
Yes.
So in that chaos, he's not being able to be himself and be with her.
And that is the amazing thing about Tumko, right?
Yeah.
It's at the end, he's on a stage, he's performing.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, people disappear.
And
there's just this angel
glow and her coming and meeting him. Yeah.
And now she is singing his song for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
a very
that's
nice...
the kind of end that both the characters might want in the film.
Yes.
And they get it eventually. Because that's the true reality that in the real world, if she might have been alive, then it would have never been possible for Jordan as a character to be with Heer the way they want. So the only possible way for them to be them is like, now she's dead, you are just in the form of a soul, and now no one can kind of snatch you away from me. I mean, you're just a soul, or you're just an idea. I mean, Heer has
perception of you, right?
Heer has just become an idea that can stay with him forever, and no one can steal her from him. So that's the idea of the film as well, I think.
So I like how Tumko transforms to Tum. So it's very well done. Tumho transforms to
Tumko.
It's very well done. Absolutely, I don't know what is there left to say.
What's left?
Brilliant movie.
I mean, the end is kind of very tragic and depressing, but still, the way he's kind of taken it, right? I mean, it's again.
So if you watched our previous episode on Cinema Paradiso, you know we as Bollywood fans, Bollywood guys, we like a happy ending, right? I just said the guy, the girl get together, the end. If not together, not the end. This is an exception.
See, he's confused the audience as well. I mean, they get together, but how do they get together?
You have to be very stupid to get confused there.
Because he makes them get together at the film. Because it's a very kind of a jump cut situation, right?
See,
at the end.
Yes, it's like, see, that follows the rule. The guy, the girl get together at the end.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, so this is an exception where the guy and the girl are not together. But he loves her so much that for him it doesn't matter.
Ki physically she's present
if you've seen Lal Singh Chadda, towards the end, there's this part, right, when she's done.
Remake of Forrest Gump.
Yes. No, but here's the thing that I liked more in Lal Singh Chadda than in Forrest Gump. Towards the end, when she's dying, she's on the deathbed and he's telling her stories. Ki, main bhagne gaya, I went running here, there. I saw the Himalayas, I saw this, I saw that. And she was like, I wish I was with you. And she says, you were with me. Tum thi to sahi wahi mere paas. This is the same as that.
Yeah.
Ki though she was not with him physically on the run, he was thinking about her constantly. That's why she was there with him in the spirit. That's the same with Rockstar's end. Ki though she's dead, she's not with him. He loves her so much that she's still there with him in spirit.
Yeah, because
that's like the romantic-est end they could have written, in my opinion. But how can you write how could have it ended better than that?
Because the last time he also meets her, right? She's in coma, He's in that hospital. I mean, he runs off from that concert and gets into that hospital, and he meets her on the deathbed, and he kind of starts repeating those words, "Arey jangli jawani, arey good cha yaar," matlab,
stuff that
because
they used to do in college.
Because that kind of worked earlier. I mean, every time she was down, and he kind of got with her, met her, and spoke to her, she used to kind of respond back. But this time she doesn't respond back. And he realizes at that point of dying, I mean, he's lost her. She's not coming back. And
it's a very...
and that's the start of Nadan Parinde as well. And he comes out losing all hope. I mean, he's realized she's not coming back, and I can't live now. Because there's a conversation with Katana Bhai as well in the hospital, where he says that she shouldn't die, otherwise I'll lose myself. Because I'll become a chaotic person if she's not there for me.
Katana Bhai turns out to be a great manager out of nowhere, huh? Running a store and then running this.
I mean, that's not
Rockstar.
Explained in the film. I mean, he's a canteen owner.
That's a typical Bollywood stuff.
Then
canteen ki tarah
वो बहुत unexplained is like eventually he becomes that, because he provides him with food and shelter eventually after the Kun Faya Kun
at
thing.
the end of Kun Faya Kun, yes.
And then next thing you see is like arranging meetings for him and talking with Platinum Music. I mean, but actually, I mean, he's the guy who planted this idea in his head as well, right?
Yes.
कि भाई artist हो तो अंदर दुख होना चाहिए, दर्द होना चाहिए.
Moral of the story.
I mean, he's the...
The moral of the story is, it's like, if your canteen manager guy tells you अंदर दुख होना चाहिए, punch him in the face. Don't listen to him.
मतलब उसकी वजह से उसकी लाइफ बर्बाद हो गई.
Yeah. Don't listen to your canteen manager guy. It's like, do me a favor, go to your canteen right now and punch the guy on the counter. Don't actually do that.
मतलब तेरे को समोसे खाने हैं, तेरा दिल
हाँ तो समोसा लाया यार.
तू बैठ के चटनी खा रहा है यहाँ पे. I mean,
that sounds like, back when I was in college, that sounds like something my canteen manager guy would have told me, just because he didn't want to give me extra chutney. I would be like, अरे चटनी दो ना भाई. I would be like, अरे तुम्हारा दिल नहीं डूबा. I'm like, इतनी चटनी डाल दे भाई. Oh man.
नहीं मतलब imagine करो ना, if Katana Bhai didn't exist in the film, he would have never gone to Nargis and kind of proposed to her.
True that. Yeah.
That character थे, मतलब उसको pay off मिला eventually कि वो manager बन गया उसका. Yeah, I was the reason to Jordan बना. So I deserve to be your manager. Don't say it. Great.
I also really like this song when they are in Prague.
Hawa
Hawa is also a great song. It's an amazing narrative that is a metaphor for her life in Prague. Throughout in the song, the lyrics, they talk about this queen who used to go dancing every night and रोज के वो जूते तोड़ती 12. फिर गुस्से में बोला राजा कि something he sets like this guy behind the queen to figure out where she's going and he sees snakes and venomous I don't know, he sees crazy shit. He comes back running and the king tells the queen you're just never going out now. And he cages her in this cage of gold. And the queen says, ये सोने की दीवार है, मुझे खुशी ना ये दे पाए, कर दे मुझे रिहा.
Okay.
Which is such a metaphor for her life, right? She's in Prague, married to a guy who's well-to-do. She has like house help, a big mansion-looking house, but she's not happy. सोने की ये दीवार है, मुझे खुशी ना ये दे पाए.
Simple money can't buy happiness.
Yeah, it is such a nice, and towards the end of the song, if you see the lyrics move to like she breaks free, the queen breaks free, and she then dances every day without anyone's worry, and that is like the dream that Jordan is weaving for her.
Yeah, because the first couple of times he meets her as well, he also has this idea na कि यार you're a girl from a rich family. I don't expect कि you might have lived your life freely anytime.
Yeah.
कि मतलब तुमने कभी बी ग्रेड फिल्में नहीं देखी होगी, तुम दारू थोड़ी पीती होगी, तुम तो एकदम नीट एंड क्लीन टाइप की लड़की हो. So she kind of also defies that idea कि अच्छा what do you know about me? I also want to experience these things and I can also do these things.
So, yeah.
And she gets those moments only with him,
With
right?
Jordan, yes.
Yeah, with nobody else, right?
Nobody else.
Be it as her family or even her husband eventually.
Yes. I think there's more to talk about the songs than there's to talk about the movie.
We can talk about the movie. So one thing I also noticed, I mean, the film showcases pretty much well, and I think it did that way ahead of its time back in 2011. Is like, what is the cost of being a star in the present day or in present times, where there's too much media attention and everything.
So from what I've heard from these friends who can't enjoy Rockstar ka music, the friends who are Firangis, who are not Indians, this is more of a Indian phenomena.
Yeah.
That if a star goes out, people just like swan around them. From what I've heard from these friends, in New York, in Paris, in London,
stars do roam openly, walk around freely.
Keanu Reeves takes the subway. And people respect their privacy. Not in our country. Definitely. That is something we have definitely got to learn. You go anytime outside Mannat is Shah Rukh Khan's house. At 3 a.m., even at 3 a.m., you'll at least see 10, 15 odd people sitting on the road, chilling, taking selfies with the door. There's a name board that says Mannat, people taking selfies with that name board. I haven't taken pictures there, but I've been there as well, definitely. If I'm in Bandra, especially that area, definitely going outside Mannat. It's just a thing we Indians do.
Yeah, because I think we as a country are too very much emotional as well, right? When it comes to people from the media industry. We're kind of very attached. We feel that they are one of our own, right?
Yeah.
So we have ki acha yaar, he's my hero.
My Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, he's my Shah Rukh Khan wala feeling. So that is the difference between West and here. So that is why kind of we also get into hero worshipping and idol worshipping in India.
And the opposite as well, right? Absolute bashing, no?
Yeah, the bashing is also nowadays gone to the extremes, right?
So I've heard, this is not now, this is many years ago. The guy who played Ram in the OG Ramayan series.
Yeah, Arun Goel.
He, during a shoot, this is a grapevine story. I've heard this from someone who heard it from someone. So it could be wrong. This guy, he was between shoots outside the studio. He was taking a smoke break.
Yeah, he used to smoke.
Some guy comes and he's like, "Aap ye kar rahe ho? Aap Ram ho? Aap kya kar rahe ho?" He's like, "Bro, मैं Ram नहीं हूँ. I played Ram." Similarly, I remember many years ago, there's this TV actress called Sonarika Barodia.
Okay.
Could be butchering the name. She used to play Parvati in Mahadev TV show.
Okay, Naya wala.
Not sure. This is some 7 years ago. She posted a picture on Instagram in which she was wearing a bikini by the pool or by the sea or something. People absolutely lost their shit. They're like, "You're playing Parvati, you're Parvati." She's like, "No, I'm not Parvati." They're like, "No, we don't get it. Take it down."
No, because here, I mean, if you're portraying such characters on screen, it comes with a responsibility, I guess.
Definitely. And it's people's,
I mean, kind of it's a forced responsibility, I feel.
People, a lot of people, not all, there are definitely people who do, but a lot of people are unable to separate the character from the... even if you see Leonardo DiCaprio, you go outside, you tell an average Joe Schmo, Leonardo DiCaprio, they're like, who? They're like the guy from Titanic. They're like, guy from Titanic. Yeah, I know the guy from Titanic. Yeah. They go and watch Wolf of the Wall Street. And they're like, the guy from Titanic.
Nice.
Well, with that, do you have any closing thoughts for Rockstar?
Yeah, Rockstar, I think you can still keep watching it. I mean, it's a movie I mean, it will stay. I mean, you can have multiple viewings years after years and years after years. I think that would bring, I mean, as an audience, would make me connect with it even more. I mean,
it is one of those movies that if you watch it 3 years, you watch it and then you watch it again 3 years later. What do you take away from the movie 3 years later tells more about how you have grown as a person.
Yeah, how you've grown and what are you as a person in that phase of life.
That is definitely a brilliant thing.
Yeah, because it works on with multiple things. Na, ki if you are not aware of what an artist does or what a lifestyle of an artist
if you recently had a heartbreak,
you will very different perspective. Yes. You might get inclined to it pretty much.
If you got a heartbreak because she got married to someone.
Yeah, but if you
happens.
No, because if you see the movie as well, I mean, I don't know, but the character is pretty much toxic. I mean, Ranbir's character.
Oh yeah, there's something at about Ranbir Kapoor being toxic
at least in the second half of the film.
Oh my god, this can be a completely different... What is up with Ranbir being toxic?
No, I mean, you see, I mean...
Is he a toxic person in general? In real?
We don't know.
I was watching Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. There's also points in that movie when he's just an absolutely toxic guy. I'm like, so you were toxic in Rockstar. You were toxic in Jawani Hai Diwani. You are helplessly toxic in Ae Dil Hai Mushkil.
Animal.
I haven't watched Animal because it is so toxic. Ranbir, you okay?
Bro? See, the conversation had to come all the way to Animal again.
Oh, Animal is like the pinnacle. Right. Like, that's like... Bro, you okay, bro?
He's playing Ram in his next movie, so... He's okay.
Don't be toxic in that one.
No, you can't be toxic na usme.
Please, I beg you, please don't. No, don't.
No, but I mean, when you see Rockstar, I see traces of his future films, na. In a way. I mean, the character. I mean, he's kind of asking her to cheat on her husband.
Yes.
Even after knowing it's wrong. But yeah, again, if you see it from a morality point of view, you'll feel obviously it's wrong. But if you remove the morality aspect, you'll realize okay.
There is stuff like... So even in Jawani Hai Diwani, there's a scene, we'll not make you watch that movie yet. There's a scene where they are in somebody else's wedding and during a quiet evening, he gets 2 bottles of beers and comes to Deepika to chill. Another guy has also come with 2 bottles of beer to chill with Deepika. And he's like, who the fuck are you? And this guy is like, she called me here in the wedding. At that point, even if she's dating him, you will feel insecure, no doubt. Everyone will feel insecure because we're just humans. But you don't ask that guy to just get the fuck lost. Right? You respect it, you respect him, if you're a bit of a pushy asshole, you can say, sit down, all three will have beer together. Right? That would be a very social but a little pushy way of doing it.
There's a difference. So someone who is not that extreme a person wouldn't react much, but someone with extreme anger issues would obviously react on that.
No, in that movie, he just tells her, ki, tu ja yahan se. That's the literal lines. I quote, tu ja yahan se. Why would you say that? Right? Either you leave, because she has called him, she hasn't called you. Hello. Even if they're dating, right? Respect their privacy, just leave. If you can't do that, you are a pushy asshole. Sit down, you open the bottle of beers, ask him, I'm tera bhi khol deta hu, and then we all three can have beers together, right?
नहीं वो उसकी बंदी है ना लेकिन
वो उसकी बंदी नहीं है. That is the thing. They are not in a relationship.
थी नहीं but बन सकती है ना, there is potential interest ना कि ठीक है मेरी बंदी है आगे जाके. How dare you?
Called being a pushy asshole. That's just called being a pushy asshole. If, by the way, I was that guy, the guy that Deepika called, I had 2 beer in my hand. One of the bottles would be like, damn, on your fucking head, bitch. If you behave like that, if you're an asshole, yeah, fuck you, bitch. We'll see. Don't be like that. Ranbir, I'm talking to you. Don't be like that.
He's a dad now, so I think
teach it to your kid.
He's left everything.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
But see, so here's the thing. He is only playing, in all seriousness, he's only playing what is written in the script. And what is written in the script, I feel, is a reflection of who we are and what we are as a society.
Yeah.
The truth is, why did Animal make so much money? Why it is like banged on the box office, though it's a shit movie. That should be fucking banned, in my opinion. It shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
No, it shows extremely misogynist stuff in an already existingly very misogynist society.
No, but again, it's a reflection of society.
Exactly. Yeah. The reason why that movie worked so well.
Yeah, because
the reason why Rockstar's pushy, toxic character was in the script is because it's a reflection of the people watching it. Even since we were talking so about Scorsese, at the end of Wolf of the Wall Street, if you notice, he's in this conferencey thingy where he's teaching people how to sell a pen.
Yeah.
Right, and he says how to sell a pen. How can you sell me this pen?
Yeah.
And people somebody's like, nah, I don't know. Somebody is like, it's a fountain pen, it's a whatever, it's a Lamy or it's a Parker or whatever. Yeah. And the camera pans up, and you see the light coming from the projector, and it's like as if Scorsese is asking you. He's like showing you in that place, and he's asking you.
So what I felt about that,
I think it is the same with Rockstar, same with Animal. I haven't watched Animal, but same with a lot of this toxic traits that we see. And even, for example, in DDLJ, you see Shah Rukh Khan being a very pushy, toxic guy, at least in the first half. A lot of these things work because people like seeing them. It's because it is a reflection of who we are. And the truth is, India especially is full of toxic, pushy men who don't understand where the boundary is, where they should stop. A misogynistic movie, like I had a woman tell me this when I was in Ladakh कि क्या प्रॉब्लम है एनिमल से कि वही तो करते हो ना तो वही दिखा रहे हैं तो प्रॉब्लम क्यों है
सही बात है
I'm like that damn she's right.
हाँ सही बात
she's right. These movies work. These movies exist because men in India exist, and so many men are like this. Yeah. If anything, it's like again, as in the Wolf of the Wall Street, the end, the camera pans up towards the projector ka light, and you see like this angelic glow from the projector, kind of blinding you, and it's just reminding you that you watch Wolf of the Wall Street because secretly you want to be Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Secretly you want to be rich and you don't care about scamming people.
You want to be that person. I mean, it's a very exciting kind of a life.
Yes.
So you aspire also to कि अच्छा ये मेरे साथ नहीं हो रहा है, but I would like to see myself in this place.
Exactly. I would like to have that white Ferrari while getting a picture from Margot Robbie. Did I say that out loud?
There's an orgy scene as well in a play.
Not saying any more things. Well, with that said, closing thoughts on Rockstar.
Closing thoughts on Rockstar. Yeah. Nice film. Hear the songs every now and then. Do hear the songs, I mean, every now and then.
If you can,
yeah.
Do yourself a favor. After this podcast, put away your AirPods Pro Max Ultra, whatever, Bluetooth earbuds that you have, earphones. If you're listening to this on your car speakers or something, go home or go to the office. And those two people who are listening to it on a Samsung smart fridge, throw your fridge out, get a normal fridge, get a life, touch grass. Find yourself some wired earphones. If you still have those wired earphones. You might not have a phone where you can plug those in, so plug it in your laptop or something. No, this is when you realize what Apple has really stolen from us. This is when you realize what Apple has truly stolen from us.
However, it doesn't mean everyone who's listening has a...
They would have a laptop or something.
They have an iPhone, right? Achha,
but like most phones also don't have.
But do you think the guys who are listening to your podcast, all of them might have an iPhone.
No, even if you don't have an iPhone, because the iPhone 7 didn't have a headphone jack. These days, most Samsung phones Android phones also don't have a headphone jack, right? Anyway, find a pair of wired earbuds. Find something that you can plug those into. Then listen to Rockstar. It's a truly next level experience. And the thing is ki Rockstar is among those very few Bollywood albums, Bollywood soundtracks, which deserve you putting in that extra effort. Keep your Bluetooth earphones aside, they don't do justice to Rockstar. Anything that is not like a proper nice, like if you have, nice speakers in your house but you don't use them, Rockstar is the album just sunne ke liye you should use this. Like Rockstar is like genuinely good stuff.
And kind of listen while sitting in a very calm and silent space.
Yeah. If you don't have wired earphones, you are gonna listen on your AirPods. Rockstar ka album is one of those songs. Rockstar ke songs are those songs. You don't listen to them while washing dishes. You don't listen to them while running. What am I doing? I'm listening to Rockstar. Right? That's what you do. I'm actively listening to Rockstar.
Yeah, dedicatedly.
Yes. And with that, it's a wrap, I think. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Don't be toxic and pushy. And,
I think you should watch Animal. We'll do a podcast on them.
Fuck, no. Nope. That's a wrap. Cut. Thank you. Bye bye. No animal watching.